Are we serving God or are we just doing something else? Hi everyone, this is R.A. Sweeney. Welcome to Wordplay in the Word, where we examine different linguistic nuances in the Bible and how some of those things help shape the story. Today, I want to jump back into the Exodus story. I think you guys have probably noticed I've been spending a lot of time in Exodus lately because that's what I'm translating right now. But there's a really interesting kind of a long-running wordplay that is going on here in the story. So in the story, we see that the Israelites are in Egypt and they are enslaved by Pharaoh to do his work. And so the word that's used to describe their slavery comes from the Hebrew root avad, which can mean slavery, it can mean servitude. Really, the way I view it in my own translational work is I really see that there's kind of like, it means to serve someone, and whether or not that's voluntary or forced depends on the context. And you kind of have to figure out, like, is this slavery or is this servitude? Because it can mean both. But so they are slaves to Pharaoh. They are avading Pharaoh. And so then when Moses is sent to free the Israelites, he is supposed to say that the Israelites are going to go avad God. And there again, you can see, like what I was just saying, like they're slaves to Pharaoh. They're serving him in slavery, but they are going to go serve God using that same word. But they're choosing God's kingdom rather than Pharaoh's. And so they're avading you, they're going to avad me, is kind of what God is saying. And then throughout the story, you see Pharaoh changing things just a little bit, which is so cool because, like, you think back to the Garden of Eden, and the serpent comes in and he doesn't just lie to the woman, he just so gently tweaks things in order to manipulate it to serve him. And that becomes the problem of the story. And so then jumping back into the Exodus story, you've got a guy, like, you picture Pharaoh in your mind right now. You're probably picturing that headdress thing. It's meant to make him look like a cobra. The serpent is the national animal of Egypt. So you have this serpenty guy who God is saying, these people are going to avad me, which also is in the Genesis narrative. That's what Adam and Eve did in the garden. They were avading. And so then when God says, hey, let them come avad me, Pharaoh says, oh, sure, they can go offer sacrifices to you. And it's a different word. It doesn't say they can go serve you. It says they can offer sacrifices to you. And then as the story develops, there is... Pharaoh tells Moses, like, hey, go make supplication to your God so that he'll remove the plague that I'm dealing with right now. That word offer supplication it means like burn incense too. It's like calming them down. Like, go, honestly, where my mind goes, and it's terrible, is, the like trope in our very hate-filled culture, where someone will tell a guy, like, tell your woman to chill out. Honestly, that's what it feels like Pharaoh is saying to Moses, like, hey, go tell your God to chill out, is what this word is. It's like, go do whatever you can to just get them to chill out for a bit because they're acting up. And Moses actually says, like, okay, I'll do that. I will go make supplication. He uses the same word that Pharaoh had said. And then it says that he went and did it. And then God actually responds to it. He removes the plague. But then God's like, that's not what I asked for, though. Like, we're going to do what I said, or I'm going to send you another plague. And so it's just kind of interesting how Pharaoh keeps tweaking, like, oh, well, you can't avad God, but you can offer sacrifices to him. I'm not going to let you go serve him, but you can burn incense to him. And then, you can do it here. How about you just do it here? So, like, you can serve him as long as you're still serving me more. And then, well, you can, but your families can't. And he's just taking and like twisting every word that God had said and is saying like, okay, yes, but not this little piece. We're just going to tweak that. And we see that same thing playing out so much of these little tweaks from what God wanted. And it's very easy to miss because they're synonyms. When you think about like going and serving God and offering sacrifices to God and making supplication to God, you can read all those as synonyms. But if you really pay attention to how they get used, it's actually intentionally using synonyms to say, I'm not going to let them be your people. They're going to stay my people. And so it just really kind of helps shape that story. And then we can fast forward that all the way into our context where God is like, hey, I need you to avad me, is still his demand is you're going to come avad me. And we're like, yeah, we'll offer sacrifices. Yeah, we'll go to church on Sundays. I'll go on that mission trip. I'll serve in youth. Like, I'll do the things. Oh, yeah, well, we can do parts of that. Well, maybe I can serve you with this part of my life, but not that part of my life. And we're doing the exact same thing Pharaoh does. And God's just saying, like, no, you're going to be mine. You're going to be my servants and serve me only, or it's not going to work. And so I feel like that translates really, really clearly into our context as well. So that's what I want to talk about for this week on Wordplay in the Word. I hope it's a blessing. Please feel free to like and subscribe so other people can find these videos so that you can see more as they come out in the future. Share them with any of your friends that might appreciate these. And I hope this was a blessing. We will see you all next week. Thanks, everyone.